back, take a couple of good deep breaths. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. Feel all the surface area of the fabric against your back, glutes, your legs. Feel how it's like a hug. A lot of people come to this shape and they feel safe, like a womb again. Like there's nothing that can hurt us. That warm embrace. Just breathe into that for a moment. Huge inhale. Huge exhale. So that massage, the pressure that the hammock can put against us, that's what we're going to play with today for our intention, the idea that's in the back of our mind. We're thinking of a massage. That's our inspiration today. So in a massage, you have a muscle group that's already tight. And by applying more pressure, you're actually able to take a moment to pause and relax around the pressure, the additional tension. And by relaxing into that, that's what makes it start to release and all that tension to go away. So I was playing with that idea. In our lives, sometimes we resist the things that are already tense. But if we take the time to like work it out, to put even more pressure temporarily, it makes things get better in the end. It's like those conversations that need to happen that we've been delaying for quite a while. It's like that. So we'll be playing with how the hammock can give us different types of massages on our feet, our hamstrings, different things like that. We travel through class. So then the idea is to try to relax into that extra tension that it can give us. So with this idea to lead us on, let's take some nice initial stretches. Arm stretch all the way to the back wall. Inhale. Exhale, lean partway to one side like a big banana. Inhale back to long. Exhale, lean the shoulders to the other direction. Take that a couple of times, that deep side rib and shoulder stretch. One more time, exhale. Inhale. And right knee comes into chest. Give that knee a good hug, pull it in, so like the flexors get some compression. Maybe some ankle rolls while you're at it. Up the tension there, snap, crackles, pops. Okay, so extending right leg up to sky, grab on. Extend the heel higher and higher and higher. If this is something that you can hold this leg with one hand, maybe you use the second hand to give the hamstring a light massage. Help remind that hamstring area, even though it's tight, it's tense, we can loosen up around that tension. Here about 2 more breaths, whether you're done massaging or you're continuing. We'll hook this right heel to the back left end of the fabric where the head is. Peek at knee, size at knee, but it's essentially a hip opener, like a pigeon pose laying on our back. Right heel hooks to back left by the head. And the shin slides into the chest. Just relax around that tight hip area. inhale. Exhale, free out this leg, drop it down. Left knee comes into chest, give it a deep hug in. Try to release some of the tension right there. Rolls, maybe one circle to each direction at least. The leg extends up to sky, grab on, continue to help that heel push higher and higher. This one's that one where we have the option, maybe just one hand holds onto the second and gives the hamstring massage. This one's, for me, it works best if I kind of use my whole palm to kind of pinch the hamstring and then release. Move to a new spot. Okay, last breath. We'll hook the heel over to the back right. Slide the shin in. Relax those hip muscles even more. Okay, release this leg all the way down. Let the head come out the back end. The head tilts back, so you're kind of stretching through the throat, thyroid area. That but just to stretch, even kind of jut the jaw kind of up towards the ceiling. Lifting the head up, clasp the hands behind the head, pull the chin into the chest. So now we're stretching the back. We release the head, the fabric, we slide it down to the armpits. We drop the head backwards again. This time try to clasp hands back to the back. So you drop the head backwards. The hands, if possible, try to get them as far away from the feet as possible. And releasing the clasp, just let the arms flip open to each side. One more breath in. Out. Good. Head and arms dive inside. The legs stay as they are, but we bring the torso up so that we stretch over the legs. So the muscles on the back get that nice length. The weight of the head drifts forward, so we're stretching back and neck and low. As we set the head up, let the feet kick free off the end, the front end. The arms are behind the fabric. And we're gonna be flipping. So take your thumbs, the fabric that's behind your back. Use the thumb area to help push the fabric down to about where your pant line is. So then lean back to lock it in place, and then you slide the hands back up. Good. Wide legs as you continue to tilt, and the legs wrap around the fabric. That wrap, you can release the hands entirely, let your spine relax down. Good, you have to wrap your legs. Yeah, just like that. And now you're locked in, so you're welcome to left. So feel how this one gives a very light pressure to the low back. It's not too much because we do have a lot of the surface area of the fabric spread out around the glutes and the thighs. But feel how there's that light pressure to the low back, a little massage. That's the type of massage we're going for. So always know if your head doesn't want to be upside down very long, you're always welcome to come back up. As long as this feels good, you can add in little variations that feel good. So some days the spine just wants to hang. That's great. Some days a twist is nice, walking one hand to top of that, one hand to the back of that, and then square your hips back to where they were facing. So you would take time for the twist each direction. And the third option is a back arch. Walk your hands as far behind you as you can, and then just release that arch to shape. Things to play with if you want to, but like I said, you don't have to be upside down super long. Even if you come up, you can go back in a minute, back upside down if you just need a break for a second. We'll be playing with it just a little bit longer. That's it. Listen to the body, especially if there's head rushes. Don't force anything. Yeah. So this is the day take these things easy if you need to. Just listen to the body. No need to force. I usually do it more or less majority rules, so we're about at that. Most people are up. If you want to just hang, if you know that you need to, you're welcome to skip the next stretch and just hang. Otherwise, in coming up, we're going to take a little twist. So the twist, we're going to bunch up the fabric to the front door side of the room. The right arm touches the back wall, or that right arm circles around to grab the fabric behind. When we're doing twists, we need to stack the spine tall. So I'll usually do that by inhale to stack, and then exhale, just twist to the amount that feels good for your spine. So let's release this side, twisting to the back door. Watch that. Left arm stretches back or circles around. Release. Grab onto each side. Put the legs up for a moment and then rock forward to come out. Beautiful. Do some nice stretches just to continue to warm up our bodies. So with this first one here, we're going to take the fabric underneath the shoulder blades. walk yourself back to take all the slack out. But then we're gonna bring our hips back under the plumb line. So it's like a big chair that we're sitting in. So once you're here, usually in the approach, we're holding the core really tight. So once you're there, release all that core effort. So the weight of the hips are pulling the spine down. Tilt to the feet wide. Might be nice for the hands to press the inner thighs into the stretch. Straighten the right leg. Side. I do the same thing. It's all good. And switch. Feel how there's a little bit of massage in the armpit area. That's where we have lots of lymph nodes. So this can be nice for the lymphatic system, trying to squeeze some of that going through the system. I'm going to go back to the middle for a second. We're going to drop down to knees. The arms open to a low angle. The chest pushes forward and the hips push forward. The chest. A nice supported camel pose. Release. Hands come out in front of you. The arm fabric comes out in front. Grip just a little narrower than the shoulders, and then bow forward. So elbows straight is a lot deeper stretch through shoulders. Elbows bent is more gentle in the shoulders. Okay. So heading back kind of like a child pose, we're sitting on our feet. You're going to free out your right leg to be extended forward, and then you're tucking it so this left foot is just off to the side of it. So right leg is extended forward, left foot is tucked. There we go, we got it. Okay, so two stretches here. The first one is a quadricep stretch for the left thigh. So grabbing onto the fabric as high up as you'd like. You start to lean back. If you want deeper in the quad stretch, you continue to slide your hands down to a comfortable point. And if you get to the point where you just want one hand in the middle and the other hand, the other arm dropping to the ground to support you, that's fine. It's just enough so that we have a handle to hold up later. But we're going deep enough that the quad is stretching, but it's not too tight on the knee. So if there's any knee pain, go higher. Pull into the fabric to help rise. Now just rest one or both hands into the fabric. Lean forward. We'll switch it out. So left leg extends forward, right leg tucks back. Maybe both hands on the fabric, slipping down. Maybe just one hand for the handle, the other elbow drops down to help support you lowering. Whatever is helpful. The quad stretch. Pull into the handle to rise. One or both hands in the fabric, lean forward. Both legs release forward, continue to lean forward. Spine rises up. Now both feet tuck back underneath us. Okay, so back to kind of a shoulder width grid. We're going to take a little slow sequence. So we start by leaning back, and then the hips lift up. Arm strength slowly pulls us up through that camel pose. Arms extend forward, belly drops down. Then set the hips back. Rolling back to stretch the quads. Hips lift, back bend. Arm strength. Good. So arms extend forward, bow forward, like a cow. And then like a child. Okay, 2 more. So roll the spine back. Lift your camel. Then forward, puppy. Continue to droop heart down. And child. 1 more at your own pace. We're gripping nice and high. Just step a foot and rise. Beautiful. Giving the hands a little break, we're going to take a hip hang. So the fabric comes up to our hip bones like a belt. Walk forward to take all the slack out. And then bend at the waist. Free out your thumbs, drop the hips in. Okay, once you're here, 3 big steps backwards, brings your hips back under plumb line. Okay, so this is another point where you get that massage, this time on the psoas area, the front of the hips. So if this is intense already on the hips, just stay in the down dog, even you have little breaks by lifting your hips higher than the fabric. So that's always an option. Hip hang can be really nice. Lifting up the toes, hug around the shins. Play back and forth between those two. Similar to before, you don't have to stay too long that your head's uncomfortable, but feel free to play around with them as long as it's helpful. So there's times where you want to break for a second and then come back into it, but if you know that you're done completely, you're welcome to just take stargazers and fabric back to your shoulders. Not rushing at all. If you're still in, just enjoy it. Here in stargazer, sometimes it's nice to take the hands behind the head, then bending to right knee, right, and straightening that leg, bend left knee, sway the back side. To have something outside of us that we can trust our weight in. I believe if we build trust in one area of our life, even if it's just trusting a hammock, I believe that helps us to build trust in other areas as well. Take the time that you need, that your head feels like you actually are good to go again, so no rushing. But if you reach that point where you're like, yeah, I could easily stand up and I wouldn't be dizzy or anything. When you reach that point, you'll free the fabric out in front of you. Let's take our right thigh inside. Good. So we're going to be playing for a moment with that intensity, that massage that can happen in the right thigh area. So hands slide up high, start to sink your weight forward. If you already know You can feel that you're tender in the hamstring area. Know that you can come back and then spread out the circumference area. So that's the option that you have. But otherwise, try to just relax your weight into it. Receive the massage as well as the stretch on the front of the left hip or the back calf. Good. We'll transition to warrior two. Take your weight back over standing leg, both hands on left strand. Standing toes turn to the left. And then sink your weight back to the front. You can just continue to grip in front of you, or sometimes people do warrior two arms, one arm forward, one arm extending to the back wall. And this is another good pressure massage. You won't make it super long. As long as you can, try to relax into it, just breathe. Go 2 more cycles of that. Return, squeeze inner thighs together, slip fabric to the ankle. Still gripping on left hand side down, right hand down, and sink your weight forward. Weight comes back, grip one hand on each side, face forward. Hamstring stretch options would either be sliding hands down to get the chest closer to the thigh, be a really nice stretch, or a deeper hamstring stretch is split. Hands slide up, sink the weight forward. Weight comes back. Slide the arch of the foot into the fabric. We're about to get a nice arch of foot stretch, fascia massage just right on the bottom. So grip the hands up high. We're going to stand all the way up inside of it. Once you're standing, your free leg wraps around the fabric. Okay. That's a tree pose. The left wrist, and then elbow, and then shoulder inches its way forward. So left knee is wrapped and left shoulder is forward. Good. Once you're there, it feels much less fun. Hands to the heart. This is when if you need to come out because that massage is way intense, you can come out early. But as long as you can just try to relax into it, that's where we're going. I personally like to slide the foot as high up the thigh as I can once I'm there. Maybe 3 or 4 good deep breaths. You just switch which shoulder you have. Yeah, you do the other one, and it'll feel much more secure.
I can't do that.
That's okay, that's okay. You can just grab onto each side, that's fine. Good, maybe one more inhale. Exhale. One hand grabs for safety, the other hand grabs as soon as it can. And then just gently lower yourself down. The foot that just got the massage, roll it out. Good. It's interesting how until you're in those massages, sometimes we don't realize how much tension we're holding. Okay. When it feels like that side's pretty good, you can stand on it. Then left thigh goes through. If you're not too far behind foam line, you're gonna pop right up to it. Hands are nice and high. Sink your weight forward for warrior one. You can rough the fingers, that's allowed, but sometimes it's nice just to put flat hands to remind you that you don't have to, hold all the tension, that you don't have to hold your weight up. This one really is one that It's just, the hands are just there to help you balance. And preparing for warrior 2, weight comes back for a moment, grab on the right, standing toes turn to the right, and sink your weight forward. Option to open the arms for your 2 position, but you don't have to. Relax into the thigh massage just a little bit more. Grab on, squeeze inner thighs together to return your weight back. Slip fabric to the ankle, but we're still facing the side. So now right hand up, left hand down, sink weight as much forward to mirror. This feels, go ahead and switch your arms so it feels more like chest. No, yours are, sorry, yours are good, great. Relax. In life, how much do we resist around the things that are tough instead of being present with it so that the energy that's around that can have a chance to transform and release. So one more inhale. Exhale. Weight comes over standing leg, one hand grips on each side, toes turn forward. So easier hamstring stretch is just leaning forward. A lot deeper is the split, hands slide up. Sink into it. Beautiful. So now we're slipping fabric to the arch of the foot. Grip up high. I like to try to minimize the swing if possible by using the core and the leg straight. Right leg wraps around, then right shoulder needs to come forward. So it's right and right. Into the heart, breathe. Sometimes it's most helpful to not even try to focus on that massage. Try to maybe just focus on the air passing into the lungs and out. One more breath if you're doing okay. Inhale. Exhale. One hand grabs for safety. The other hand grabs as soon as it can, bring itself back out. And safety lower down. Roll through the foot that just got the massage. Good work. Great. So we're gonna play with another inversion. This one's super similar to the first one that we did. If you know that your head doesn't want an inversion today, you can still get the massage by kind of coming to this ball shape where you get that deep pressure right across that sacral area. So this would be fine just to be this far. If you're going into the full inversion, it's the same area where you put the fabric right across the sacrum. You can do it with me, that's fine. But you'll keep this pressure of the palm into the fabric so the fabric doesn't slip up. As you start to take the weight back, all the slack is out of the fabric. So it's not riding up at all. You're keeping that pressure. Tiptoe back under palm line so you don't swing. And then hands up. If you're staying here, you just curl the knees in and stay. If you're going to go to the inversion, your knees need to be wide. Wrap the feet, and then you release the hands. That's okay. You can stop it once you're upside down too. Yeah. That just gives you that sign that you are not quite under plumb line, which gets time to get used to. So you're a little low with where you're doing it. You're kind of sitting on it. You need to be above where the sit bones are. Like, yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, that'll do. You release the hands, and then you can stop your swinging. Yeah, your hands get help. There you go. Got it. If you come backwards and you realize the fabric doesn't feel like it's quite in the right spot, you can always come back up to readjust where it is. So it's right across sacrum. Your palms are pushing in just to keep it stuck there. We don't want it to slide up. So now 1 foot steps back. Use your core. Tilt back as your whole weight's in it now. Good. Your core is nice and tight, so tiptoe back under plumb line. Yeah, that's where it's like your core, like if I were to lift up, it's my core completely holding you there. Good. Okay, now hands up, knees wide. Wrap it. That's it. You're welcome. I think that's okay. You can always just keep a blanket with you too, because you could add a blanket to this one. You also, this one is similar to the one we did earlier. So if you want to just sit in the whole thing again, do that same one. That's also fine. Yeah. There's options for you, no worries. Yeah, if you're gonna sit, do the steps you did earlier to get inside, to wave out the fabric and then come inside, so that way it's, you know, it's actually spread out. Okay? Yeah, so know that it's like if you use a roller to loosen up that fascia and the muscles and stuff. If the first time you use a roller, it's really intense. So know that as your fascia gets used to being in that looser spot, it'll get better and better as you keep on coming back. But yeah, at first when you're starting, it's intense, and that can last for a couple of months or so. Eventually, it does get better. Sometimes it gets almost addicting, where you're like, I need that deep massage. Yeah, you're doing it right there. So I'll give it a little bit longer. Those that are still wanting to play with it, those that are out and you know you don't want to go upside down again, go back to the fabric under the shoulder blade like we had earlier. Just let your spine move for that. Okay. So if you're wanting to let go of hands and feet, these need to be on the outside and your feet wrap. That's it. The other way you would have definitely slipped. Little stretches you can do if you're here, and if you ever need to readjust where the fabric is again, if it's like your circulation in the armpits, that's to readjust. But there's little stretches too, like taking one ankle up, relax that knee open. Eventually switch sides. When you frog leg circle swap, extend the leg straight back, circle forward. Okay. If that feels good, let's walk ourselves back to stand up again. Walk yourself to the other end of your mat, face your fabric. Wave it. Doubled over. But then face forward. So we're facing forward, take your elbows. Yeah. elbows into just the front end, walk forward. You can either arch your heart and lean forward into it, or take a lunge. 1 foot lunges forward, 1 foot back. Basically, you're playing with it until you feel the shoulder, the pec, that area stretching out. Readjust until it's a good stretch. Give it a couple more breaths. Step the feet together, slide the elbows into the waist. Let's roll the head down, chin to chest, roll right ear to right shoulder. And roll down, left ear to left shoulder. And down. Okay, head back up. We're going into it one more time. So if you're in the lunge, take your other foot forward. If you're just both feet together, just go into it one more time. Get yourself to the point where you feel the stretch. Good. Coming out, let's roll through the neck again. Feet are together, chin drops to chest. Roll the left ear to left shoulder. And chin drops to chest. Roll the right ear to right shoulder. Chin drops to chest. Okay, as head comes up, we're gonna head inside. So flip your grip so just the thumb is on the inside. And then take about 5 grips of fabric, about half the fabric in your hands. Then come back under plumb line. Rise the tippy toes to slide the glutes in. And we're gonna take these last few minutes to do just some of the nice, beautiful stretches that are deeper inside. So you're gonna bunch up the fabric to the side that points you to the center of the room. That way you can see more easily. So some of you will be right, some will be left, but you should be facing to me. Once you've bunched up the fabric to that side, lock your arms straight. And then the hip that just got lifted, swing that leg up and over. Sometimes it's not graceful the first time. That's okay. Just do the best you can. And so lock your arms straight. That gives it some space. And then get the leg up.
No emergency.
That's okay. That's okay. Take your time. Sometimes even get like part of it through. Whenever you do get through, yes, you made it. Good. Whenever you're through, so one hand is like a stop sign. Push that into the fabric directly in front of face. So that holds the middle of the fabric. The other heel comes up where your hand is. Okay? Yeah, usually it's opposite hand to heel just because it's easier to go that way. And then once you've got one heel up, the other one just slides up next to it. So once you've got both heels in front of you, extend the legs up as much as the hamstrings will. Good. So this is a spot you could just relax, enjoy the stretch. You could use your free hands to massage through the hamstrings as well. So that is an option. It's okay if legs are a little bent. Bent as they need to be for you to be in this deep, deep stretch. Try to continue to breathe and relax. Just like that concept of the massage, when you get the extra pressure from the massage, you can then start to relax and breathe around it. That's when things start to feel good. So the intensity of the stretch, try to breathe, relax around it. So we'll transition from the hamstring stretch into a hip stretch. Bottoms of feet come together, the knees are open. Slide the heels in for the pelvis as close as it feels good for your body. So same thing, you could just breathe in the stretch, or if a massage either on inner thighs or outside of the fabric on outer thighs, if any of that would be helpful, you're welcome to take it.
Like a mosquito.
So that's fine. I can help pop up. There are ways to stop it, but sometimes as a beginner, it's hard to get that away.
I think the mosquito completely out of control.
Just breathe and relax. Now start to free the feet back out. The legs are open to each side. Once you're there, slide the fabric down to each heel. The arms press out wide. That helps the inner thigh stretch. Try to engage the part of it as tall as possible. Okay, we're gonna try for a pigeon pose to each side. Your leg that's closer to the mirror, bend that foot in. So the knee is kind of pointing directly to the mirror. Once you're there, start to free your arms out of that side of the fabric so you can keep the front side, see how it turns you a little bit. So then what you're looking for is the two ends of the fabric next. So you'll grab up nice and high on each end. Once you have a good grip, you'll lift up so your second leg can swing all the way down. Okay, so you have to lift up and then your second leg swings all the way back. That's it. Once that leg is pointed to the back wall, you're welcome to free out your shoulder that's over the toes on that front side. Good. Two more breaths on this side. We'll rock our weight back to that front hip. Swing the legs back open to that wide hip your feet. And we'll prepare for the second side. The leg closer to back wall bends. Bring your arms a little bit to that side until you can grab onto each end that's on that direction. With a tight, nice high grip, your second leg swings all the way to back to the mirror. Good. There, forward into it. Just bring that leg all the way back to me. Good. You're like almost there, yeah. There, that was it. More breaths. Relax around it. this front hip, rock it into the fabric, swing the legs back open. Legs are open, nice and wide, your arms come out again. Right hand slides down the right leg, left hand also reaches up and over to that right side. Right. Left hand down left leg, right arm also up and over. And rise. So we're at that point of class where we're ready to relax for the last few minutes of Shavasana. So one option for Shavasana today is just let the bottoms of your feet touch together from this shape. I call it the cocoon. So from this, you can rest the forehead forward or the back of the head backward, whichever one is more comfortable. I like this one because this one's almost like a meditative seat. So if you like this for that final resting pose, that's great. If you prefer to come back to laying all the way down, you'll need to free one of your legs forward and extend back to laying down. Or if you know that you need to be on the floor, you're a little, dizzy from being in the fabric so long or anything like that, you can also come all the way out. So your choice for what that final resting pose should be. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure the breath can flow deep and full. And all you have to do is just relax, breathe. Imagine the breath now can help to release all the leftover tension that might be still in the body. Just by breathing, it's like it can exit right out with our exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Introduce little movements back to the body. Stretch out in ways that the next minute or so to continue to stretch, wake up the body. So at some point it might be nice just to take some little stretches here or to transition back to both legs on the same side. Some of the stretches we did at the very beginning of class. Eventually take the next minute or so and then eventually we'll be up to a full seated place together, but we're not rushing to get all the stretches. Extend the body back out. Actually, when you're up, put your hands together in front of the heart. We'll breath full circle, remembering the idea of the massage, giving ourselves permission that it's okay to put a little bit of extra pressure, have extra goals, or take those conversations that are needed, put some pressure around the intensity so that the intensity can relax, makes the transition. So with this idea to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of oh, deep inhale. Being filled with light, happiness, peace. Namaste.